Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. So, for more than a year, a central question has swirled around the fatal shootings of the wife and son of South Carolina personal injury attorney Alex Murdaugh. And that question is, who killed them? And so, just a few days ago, the verdict has been found that Alex Murdaugh is, in fact, guilty of killing his wife, Margaret, who's 52 years old, and the couple's younger son, Paul. So I read this really great article on NBC News that gives us a summary of the timeline of events. Let's go ahead and get started. So on June 7th of 2021, Alex Murdaugh calls 911 at 10:07 p.m. to say that he has found the lifeless bodies of his wife, Maggie, and Paul near the family dog kennels on their hunting lodge estate in rural Collington County. So he says, I've been gone. He said, I just came back. He was crying. His voice was quivering, and the authorities arrived on the scene. So the coroner revealed that Margaret and Paul both suffered multiple gunshot wounds, and their estimated time of death was between 9 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. On September 4th of 2021, Murdaugh is injured in a roadside shooting in Hampton County, and his lawyer and his friend Jim Griffin tells the news outlets that Murdaugh's car, his black Mercedes-Benz SUV, had a flat tire. He pulled the vehicle over, and then a pickup truck passed by, turned around, and the person shot him and opened fire. So September 5th, 2021, authorities say that his injury was a quote-unquote superficial head wound, and he was flown to Savannah, Georgia for treatment. September 6th, Murdaugh releases a public statement saying that he has resigned from his family's law firm in order to enter rehab, and that he's made a lot of decisions that he truly regrets. Hours later, his firm released a statement saying that he had misappropriated company funds. And then September 8th, the South Carolina Supreme Court suspended his law license indefinitely. So here we have Judge Clifton Newman, who actually has known Alex Murdaugh and his family since birth. And he was unaware of Alex Murdaugh's lies, just as everyone else, but the truth was revealed throughout trial and the grand jury proceedings. But this judge was very calm, cool, collected throughout the trial. He was very professional. So I just definitely want to say I really enjoyed his demeanor throughout the whole thing. And he was really, really great at his job. So Judge Clifton Newman, he's a wonderful judge. He did a great job. And here we have the victims of the Murdaugh family. So on the left, we have Mallory Beach, who was killed initially in the boating accident, which, in my opinion, has set off a lot of the investigations into their family. As I stated in my previous video, this family was very prominent and well connected. And because they were so well known and wealthy, that allegedly they've gotten away with murdering many people in the past. Allegedly. But every single person in this picture, here on the top, we have Gloria Satterfield, who was their housekeeper. She tripped and fell and died at their property. And then we have Stephen Smith, who died in high school. He was left in the middle of the road. And around 19 to 20 people came forward to say that Stephen Smith had a relationship with Buster Murdaugh, who was the oldest son. He's still alive. And again, speculation is one thing, but 19 to 20 people saying the exact same name, it makes you pay attention. So I really feel bad that all these people have lost their lives, but I am glad that Alex Murdaugh has been convicted, and that hopefully their families can receive some justice and some peace and closure for their deaths. So let's continue on with the timeline. September 14, 2021, authorities provide new details in the roadside killing. They allege that Murdaugh had actually arranged for a man to kill him so that his older son Buster could collect $10 million of a life insurance policy that they had. The man's name was Curtis Edward Smith. He's 61. He was arrested on charges of assisted suicide, assault and battery of high aggravated nature, pointing and presenting a firearm, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. On September 16, 2021, Murdaugh surrenders to authorities after he is charged with insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and filing a false police report. So he's granted bond, and a judge orders him to surrender his passport, but he permits him to go to a drug rehabilitation center to get the help that he needs. So on October 14, 2021, Murdaugh is arrested in Florida upon his release from a drug rehab facility, and he's charged with 2 felony counts of obtaining property by false pretenses after investigation into millions of dollars that went missing from a settlement involving the Satterfields. So his housekeeper, he stole $4.3 million from her 2 boys after she was killed on their property. On October 19, 2021, a South Carolina denies Murdaugh bond and orders him to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. And within the next few months, November, December, Murdaugh faces 48 separate charges, most of them with money laundering and forgery and financial crimes. So collectively, he faces 71 charges that involve theft of about $8.5 million over the course of 11 years. So on January 24th of 2022, that is when the boat accident happened and a legal claim was filed against the estate of Maggie and Paul and the whole Murdaugh family and Alex and Buster. By the mother of Mallory Beach, who was 19, who was killed in that boat crash in 2019. So fast forward to July 13th, 2022, the South Carolina Supreme Court formally disbars Murdaugh, who's facing 84 criminal charges and 11 lawsuits. And then July 14th, 2022, a grand jury announces the indictment against Murdaugh on the double murder charges of his wife and son, Margaret and Paul. So Margaret and Paul, they were killed, and Murdaugh pleads not guilty to both of the murder charges on July 20th, 2022. And on August 19th of 2022, a grand jury indicts Murdaugh on 9 more criminal charges and relates to money laundering and computer crimes. So he took there was a computer error, and he took $121,358 from his law firm, and the money should have went to his brother. Now his brother, Brandy, is also a partner in the firm, but he hasn't been implicated on any of the alleged schemes. On January 23rd of 2023, that's when the double murder trial began. And on February 1st, the prosecutors play an unseen video taken from the phone of Paul Murdaugh, in which 3 voices can be heard in the background shortly before the murders occur. So the witnesses have testified that those voices heard on the phone were Alex, Paul, and Maggie. And this new piece of evidence places Alex at the scene of the crime and undermines his alibi, saying that he wasn't there, he didn't see his wife and son in the moments before their deaths. So on February 24th of this year, Alex Murdaugh takes the stand. He says that he did not shoot his wife and son. And you guys can check out my previous video about that, because his body language was basically working against him. Like, he said he didn't do it, but he was nodding his head and he was shaking his head, yes, that he did. Murdaugh contends that he did lie to law enforcement officers about his location before the murders due to his addiction to prescription pain pills and his general paranoia. And then March 2nd, just a few days ago, 3 days ago, the jury began deliberations after the prosecution and defense wrapped up their closing arguments. And Alex Murdaugh was found guilty of both the double homicide of his wife and child So I really hope that, Alex gets the help that he needs. While in prison, he was sentenced to life, so without the possibility of parole. And I really hope that the other families connected to the previous deaths, they all find peace and closure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. And I will talk to you later. Take care, guys. Bye.